Alright, here we go with my look at the new 2011 Thundercats Lion-O figure. Now, the one that I have here is the larger one of the figures. They have basically two sizes for these guys. They have like a smaller 4-inch line of figures, and then they have these ones here, which are a little bit larger, like probably a 6 or 7-inch size figure. So if you want, maybe you can consider these like the deluxe class of the Thundercats figures that are currently out right now. And just to give you an idea of the size of this guy, I'm going to bring in the Pursuit of Cobra figure here. So here's a Pursuit of Cobra low light. So that's, your typical G.I. Joe figure as it stands right now. So it is, good 2 inches or more taller. So yeah, it's probably about 6 inches. So that's just something there to get a sense of the size of this guy. And I'll just set him out of the way. Now, I'm going to run through this real quickly. I don't know if you're familiar with this at all, but if you are, just kind of bear with me here. This is the new modern Thundercats television series, which is currently airing on a Cartoon Network that this guy is based off of. Basically, it's an updated version of Thundercats. So the artwork, the stories and stuff are a little bit different, a little tweaked, as you can tell here by the way this figure looks. We'll kind of look at it a little bit more up close here. But I'd say it's a pretty good series so far based on what I've seen. So if you have Cartoon Network, definitely check it out. Right now I believe it's airing on Friday nights at 8 o'clock, and you can probably catch the older episodes on the Cartoon Network's website. But anyways, let's move on here and briefly show off the packaging real quick, just so you can kind of know what this guy looks like sitting on the shelves. And there you go, you can kind of see some of the artwork there. So you can see it's got more of a kind of anime look to it, the way they've done the art direction for the show. But that's pretty much it there. It says Thundercats, blah, blah, blah. And on the back here, obviously you're going to see some different characters. They got Panthro, which I actually have. Probably get a review of him up here in the not too distant future. Mumra, and these three here are all the larger versions. They don't really show the smaller ones here on the back of this package here. And if you notice here, they actually have what they're calling Thundercats Classics figures here. And apparently the only two that they have out so far are Lion-O and Tigra. I actually have Tigra right now, so again, I'm going to try and get a review of that one up pretty soon here. And this one actually is bigger or taller than the one that we're currently looking at right now. So these are pretty good size. They're pretty much like the old 80s versions, if you remember those at all. But I think they've jacked up the articulation on them a lot. And then basically on the back, just kind of shows some of the accessories and detail of him. But anyways, that's, what the packaging looks like for these guys here. And you could pretty much get these guys at Toys R Us. I know Toys R Us has them. And Walmart, possibly even Target. I haven't seen them at Target, but I would expect if Walmart has them, Target should have them. So anyways. Oh, and by the way, this guy here, these sizes are a little expensive. Toys R Us, they're going for like, I think, $17.99. So with tax, it's a little under 20. I think at Walmart, you could probably get them for about 14, maybe 15 bucks. So little on the pricey side. But they're not bad figures so far based on what I've seen. But anyways, let's kind of zoom in here and just look at him up close. So that's what the new Lion-O looks like. Obviously they're going for a younger, more inexperienced and immature version of Lion-O. And like I was saying, it's kind of got more of an anime look to it, which I actually kind of like. I think it works well with the show and also with the toys. And let's kind of go on down here. He's obviously got some like armor on him, which don't remember the old Lion-O really having. He just kind of had like a shirt. So this guy looks like he's a little more built for action here. There's a little Thundercats emblem on his little belt buckle there. And you'll notice here he's got the, I forgot what they call it, the claw shield or whatever it is. So they kind of maintain that from the old 80s cartoon. And in here he's got the Sword of Omens in its small dagger form stored away in here. And let's go on down here. And there's just his, feet, shin guards, etc. And let's just kind of look at him from the back here. I think the back's where the figure kind of lacks a little bit, just because it's got all these screws that are very visible here in the back. It's not a bad thing though, really. I mean, it's actually kind of good that they got some screws in there to actually hold it together. Probably means it's a little more sturdy. And that's that. So that's pretty much the detail on this guy up close. Now let's talk about his accessories, because he does come with a few things. And the one thing that he does come with is this guy here, which is removable. His little dagger version of the Sword of Omens here. So it's just, you know, a small version of it here. And it's kind of like a soft, rubbery here plastic. But you can store that in here, like so. And the other accessory it comes with are basically this, the claw shield, or whatever you want to call it, the gauntlet here. This is removable. And in the package it actually doesn't have this mounted on his arm, but you can pop this off and put on his regular arm here, which is jointed. And he comes with another version of the gauntlet here with all the claws retracted, and you can also store the little dagger in here as well. And if you notice, he's got this little like post or clip right here, and that will allow this to peg on here, and you can have it stored here on the side like how he has it on the cartoon version of him. So this one's a little difficult to pop in, so let me see if I can get it in here. Actually, I'm going to move it out of the way here and try and get this guy on there. There it goes. It's a small little post, but it's kind of a tight little fit. But anyway, so it can sit there on the side like that. So you can swap this one out, have it here, and put his regular hand on. And like I said, this does store in here. Just got to find the slot and then shove it in there like that. So that'll fit in there like so. So you can have it, you know, with that look, or you can just take it off altogether if you don't like the way it's hanging there. It does kind of get in the way of his arm here though a little bit. So a little bit of a downside there. But like I was saying, you can pop this guy off here. Let's just pull it off like so. And you can just peg this one back on. Let's see here. This one's always a little difficult here. You got to get it till it kind of pops into place here. Just a second. There it goes. I don't really like messing with these too much, because the one thing I find a little disappointing or kind of cheap is the way they did these elbow hinges right here. It's kind of a soft plastic, kind of rubbery almost. And it seems like if you know, keep messing with this much, it might make this crack or break on you over time. So I wish they would have used a harder plastic in here, and it also kind of bends. In some ways it's kind of nice because it allows you to kind of flex it a little bit, but it just seems like it's going to kind of want to warp or, you know, maybe crack on you over time. So I think these joints here, if they would have maybe made them with a harder plastic, it probably would have been better for the figure overall. But that's just me. So there you go there. So now he's got his regular hand. And there's his little claw gauntlet off. So, and if you wanted to, you could store this here also instead of this version here. It has the same little peg, and it should fit on that little post as well. And then the only other accessory he really comes with is the fully extended long version of the Sword of Omens. And it's also made out of the same kind of like rubbery plastic. Kind of wish it was a harder plastic though also. But not a bad little version of that sword. So it looks pretty cool. Now, if you noticed on the packaging, I don't know if you ever saw it there on the camera, or the camera picked it up there, but one of the things they point out on here is 18 points of articulation, and these guys do have a pretty good, you know, amount of articulation for it. So let's kind of run through that and see what all you got here. Basically, the head can go up and down like so, rotate around. The torso or chest here can kind of go like that and kind of up and down a little bit like that. And you can rotate at the waist. Shoulders here pretty much go all the way around, up and down. You get some bicep swivel here. The elbows can bend like so. You can rotate here, and the little wrists bend up and down. The legs like that at the hips. Knees are double jointed, and the feet here can go up and down like so, and kind of rotate a little bit like that. So yeah, you can get some pretty good poses out of this guy here, fairly articulated. You'll notice here he does have this little like shoulder guard here. Kind of gets in the way a little bit, but not much. It's kind of hinged here, and I think you could probably pop it off back here somewhere. So yeah, pretty good level of articulation, which is nice. Again, the only thing I'd say that's kind of a negative is just the way that they did these joints here in the elbows. They're kind of a soft plastic. I wish they were maybe a firmer plastic. But that's pretty much the Lino figure there. So, you know, they're a nice version of the, you know, what's currently on TV. They look very cartoon accurate. The articulation's great. Accessories are so-so, at least on this guy. It's kind of cool that he's got the different versions of the gauntlet here. And he goes falling over. The sword's cool. I don't know what other kind of accessory he really could have had. You know, I haven't really got too far into the show. Like I said, it just barely came out. So, you know, they might reveal some more stuff later on, which just means they'll probably do another version of this guy down the road probably. But I'd say, yeah, if you're into Thundercats, these are probably definitely must-have figures. I think the new show's great. I think the design of them is great. The figures themselves are fairly decent. You know, good articulation. And I think overall they just look good. So if you see this guy sitting on the shelf, I'd say it's worth picking up. And I think I'll wrap it up here with my look at the new Thundercats Lino figure.